Okay, we have a brand new Forza Horizon killer, or maybe a very expensive flop. It's called Clutch by Maverick Games, and I'm showing you here world first footage, and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts because I'm sure there's going to be loads of press previews and influence coverage, but let's be honest, a lot of that isn't going to be honest, it's going to be shilling. So this is going to be the truth of what I think. So it's an open world driving game by Maverick Games. A lot of people here are ex-Forza Horizon. These are your two protagonists in the game, the two characters. There's two kind of clans. One is the R1K, and that has a like track racing pedigree, which I really enjoy. You know, I've been big on that in Forza. So that's one side of like the clans. This reminds me of Tesla Unlimited the Crown, by the way, a game which definitely we can say did not reach its potential. There is another kind of clan as well, which is kind of like the underground one. It's called the Midnight Collective. Again, looking like Streets and Sharps from Tesla Unlimited. There looks to be a lot of story elements on the way. That was a callback to me to Need for Speed Most Wanted. So there's a lot of fan service going on. And it is an open world driving game, but it looks to have, like I said, the actual story that maybe people are missing or say they're missing in games these days. We saw 007 come out recently with a lot of story, but it has stuff like auto drive, and Forza Horizon 6 has stuff like auto drive. And I do have a concern about Clutch, that it might be a little bit dumbed down in the nature of story, and there's some interesting features I'm going to show you in this video. Now, they talked a big game about customization. Again, if you watch the forums and you watch, you know, the real people who are like on the forums every day, these sort of people will say, I want heavy customization. How much customization the average player wants, I don't know. Can you go too far? Maybe. But they're talking about stuff like adding fluffy dice, and you can even move receipts around on the top of your, like, you know, above the steering wheel stuff. So it seems to be like really in depth. A lot of fan service stuff, because we all say that we want this and they're giving it to us. Now, the bit that concerns me is that the game is called Clutch. I think most people drive these games don't even use a clutch. Like, they'll be on a controller or they'll be on pedals with throttle and brake, not a clutch. So I'm kind of like interested whether it's trying to be something that the game inherently isn't. I love this customization there, by the way, and I'm using a lot of those wheels now in real life, so that is awesome. Also, there seems to be some sorts of like maybe power-ups or some unrealistic things. Again, when you make a story-driven game, you can kind of go ham on these set pieces. So whether the game is big enough to accommodate for that, and also people who want like a sim-focused, realistic experience, I don't know. By the way, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this title so far, from the graphics, from the features that they're showing. This game was meant to be, I believe, published by Amazon, but I think Amazon dropped it. So why Amazon dropped it, I don't know, but the team are going alone, so all credit to the team. And obviously it's great to see, from my perspective, more games made in the UK. Now this is really interesting, I love this. Police cars, it seems anyway, whether this is private security and not police, and therefore it's a one mission thing. But I you know me, I want to see in open world driving games, I want to see police chases. Now this is a stuff here, look at that rope. That looks like a kind of power-up, and I just wonder whether this game is not going to be that realistic. It's hard for me to make out this game because it's promising so many different things. Track racing, which I love, police chases, which I love, you know, loads of customization, which I love. Then it's, you know, going to be accessible if it's got the power-ups and stuff. So it's promising a lot of things, which makes me cynical. I'm naturally cynical, things that promise a lot of things. Is it going to be more mind's eye than Forza Horizon 6? You let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. This is Clutch, coming from Maverick Games, and these have been my honest thoughts. Make sure to subscribe for more.